was able to order a few tires for my 240 a couple of weeks ago, and I got a call saying that they're ready. But before I head out, I'm just gonna have some fun with my longboard. Now you can see how this one end is more worn than the other, and that's usually because of the camber. But that's okay, I have to make these fit. So I took my tires and my old rims with me to the tire place, and here's what happened.
I can't even find his one order, so I don't even know how he got this tire. I can't even give you an answer, because the guy that ordered this off today, my computer won't go back past 417, this says 410, so I can't even tell you if I'm really on the ball. I can't even tell you if there's another tire coming, because I don't know how to use this computer. I'll get Tom, maybe he can use it better than me, because I suck at computers. How many did he order? One. He only ordered one tire. Would you like me to order another tire?
That's why you only have one, I guess?
You want to take one back with you today?
Sure.
You have a tricycle?
No.
Yeah, he only ordered one.
All right, but I pay for two, so that's fine. Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, no, that's...
Okay. Oops.
Whoops. Yeah, so I'll order you another tire.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
No worries. It happens. Starting to feel like this car's cursed.
The size is unbelievably odd. Okay, I'll call you when it hits my door.
All right, sounds good. So it looks like I'm gonna have to wait another week. Great. And on top of that, I noticed that there was some brake fluid leaking on my driveway. So it looks like my brake lines are sweating, and that's because they're rotted. I have to check my fuel lines as well once I get down in here. But unfortunately, I couldn't get the camera to focus on here, but we're gonna have to take care of these lines later. For now, let's see if we can get the valve running. So for this weekend, what do we got? We got some fittings, we have a fuel pressure regulator, and I've also got an Aeromotive pressure gauge. This is also liquid filled, but I'll explain what the difference is with this one versus the Mr. Gasket one. Now, I don't think I'm going to be using the fuel pressure regulator, because after I ordered it, I found out that I can't use a fuel pressure regulator with a mechanical fuel pump, which is what I have right now. Now, the mechanical fuel pump fluctuates between 7 and 8, I think, PSI normally, which I didn't know. I thought that was too high last time. But it turns out that that's normal because it fluctuates based on the RPMs of the engine. So we're gonna have to find that sweet spot between how much fuel is being delivered and everything else. So we're gonna play around with some settings on the carburetor and then see if it works out. Okay. Liquid or oil filled gauges are seen as tougher and more durable than dry gauges. And that's not necessarily wrong, because the oil protects the internals from shock and vibration, which makes them a higher quality instrument. However, these do experience random pressure swings, and that can lead you down this rabbit hole of issues that are not existent. This happens because the mechanism that moves the needle, it's called the Burden tube, and this is immersed in liquid, usually glycerin, and it's also sealed. Now, because it's sealed, it also makes it susceptible to heat and changing its reading as the temperature rises. So the glycerin heats up and expands, which leads to its pressure to rise to like 1 to 9 psi, something like that. And a dry gauge is engineered to allow atmospheric pressure into the gauge housing through a discrete vent, and this prevents the temperature-driven pressure effect on the readings. So you get an accurate reading, but if you have shock and vibration on top of that, it kind of skews it a little bit too. Now, what the Aeromotive company has done with their liquid filled gauges is they've added a special sealing plug with a pinned valve to their design, and this allows the gauge to equalize the internal pressure while remaining sealed at all times. And this is pretty cool, because that's why I decided to change out my gauge that I installed previously on the last video with this new Aeromotive one, so I can eliminate any heat-related inconsistencies. Because, you know, we're trying to chase this fuel issue. I don't want the gauge to lead me down the wrong end. So I hope that explains that. I'm going to leave a link down below in the description where you can read more about this. So funny story, guys. Well, not so funny. So this engine started making this sound that it was very similar to when I first went to look at this truck before I bought it. and the lady who I got it from said that it was just a battery issue. So this sound is pretty similar. So I started out with that because that's what the lady said it was the issue. But I quickly realized that it wasn't. So the engine wasn't even turning. So it was almost like locked up. So I checked the oil, and lo and behold, there is no oil. The dipstick is completely dry. So get a clean set of the rag. So I added a bit of the same oil that the previous owner used. Oh, look at that. Got oil now. And it's almost full. So, yay. See, that's better. That's much, much better. I don't think I've been burning oil or leaking, so. And the oil level is full. Alright, so now we know we have oil. Well, the RPM's a little high, however, it is cold, so it's the first start in a long time. So I'm gonna let it run just a little bit for a few minutes. See, voltage seems okay, so I don't think it was a battery. Okay, so I adjusted the idle, adjusted the fuel level as well. I don't know how much more I can adjust the idle screw before it starts completely coming out. I might need to adjust the fuel mixture, even though it says that it comes preset from Holly. But before I do that, let's go for a quick test drive. Let's make sure that the transmission linkage part is good and all that. Just want to note, so when I was adjusting the fuel level, the RPM started spiking a little bit. It was going to like 2,500, so I adjusted it back a little bit. Maybe it was too much fuel. I'm not really sure what was going on there. But for the time being, if I'm parked, looks like I'm going to be up at 1,500 to 2,000 RPMs. Not the end of the world, but it's a little higher for my liking. But I don't know. These Chevy engines supposed to idle this high? Comment below, let me know. So let's put it in drive and see what happens. Man, we can't catch a break, guys. So it seems that once we adjusted a couple of things just to get it running, it was idling steadily. Just took it around the block just to see if anything changed and all that, and how it was actually running after idle. And everything seemed fine until I came back the second time and I parked it. So I tried turning it off and nothing would happen. It was still running and running and running. So I heard about this before. They call it dieseling, where the engine gets a little hot and without needing a spark, it just ignites, which is not good. So I wanted to turn it off. It just kept running. So I was about to disconnect the battery and also the coil and kind of choke it down so it would turn off. Unfortunately, it seemed that we were right up against the end of the fuel that was left on the line or something. So it ended up just dying on its own. Hopefully no damage occurred from that. But aside from that, it seems that the pump itself, because I tried turning the key back on, and even then I would get no pressure on my fuel line. So I think the pump itself is not working properly. So I'm gonna see if I can find anything around me, since we've been having a lot of luck lately, because it seems like everybody's just fixing their cars for some reason. I guess it's getting nice out, so. But anyway, if I can find something locally, I'll put out another video on how to do the mechanical fuel pump installation this weekend. If not, then I'll put an order and hopefully we'll get it during the week, and you'll have another video next week. But until then, unfortunately, we're gonna have to postpone another week on getting this girl running again. Well, so until next time, thanks for joining me through these struggles. Hopefully it's helping somebody that's going through similar things, but hopefully you can sort these things out and get this girl running so we can get on to the next month. All right, until then, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your week, and I'll see you then.